Who is Min Aung Hliang? Min Aung Hliang is a Burmese army general who has served as chairman of the State Administration Council of Myanmar since February 2, 2021, a position which makes him the country's de facto leader. He has also been the Commander-in-Chief of Defense Services since March 2011. He seized power after overthrowing the elected government led by former State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi in the 2021 Myanmar Coup d'état. He reimposed military rule and martial law, ending a nearly 10-year period of civilian rule from March 2011 to February 2021. He served as Joint Chief of Staff of the Ministry of Defense from 2010 to 2011. He is also a member of the National Defense and Security Council, NDSC, chaired by the President of Myanmar. He was promoted to 4-star general in 2011 and 5-star general in 2013. Min Aung Hliang was born on July 3, 1956 in Tavoe, Burma, now Dai, Myanmar. His father, Thong Hliang, is a former civil engineer at the Ministry of Construction. Min Aung Hliang passed his matriculation exam in 1972 at BEHS 1 Latha of Rangoon, now Yangon. He attended and studied law at the Rangoon Arts and Science University from 1973 to 1974. He was admitted to the Defense Services Academy as part of the 19th intake in 1974 on his third attempt, where he graduated. According to classmates, Min Aung Hliang was taciturn, and an unremarkable cadet. He was reportedly shunned by classmates because of his reserved personality. Following graduation, Min Aung Hliang went on to serve in different command positions, rising slowly through the ranks. Early in his career, military colleagues gave him a nickname referring to cat feces, something deposited quietly but leaving a powerful stink. As he rose through the ranks, Min Aung Hliang earned a reputation as a hardliner. His military work earned him the favor of Senior General Than Shui. Min Aung Hliang is characterized as having a big man management style not conducive to collaboration or listening. In 2002, he was promoted to commander of the Triangle Region Command in Eastern Shan State and was a central figure in negotiations with two rebel groups, the United Wa State Army, UWSA, and the National Democratic Alliance Army, NDAA. Min Aung Hliang was reportedly close with former Thai Prime Minister and General Prem Tinsulanonda, considering Prem a father figure. Min Aung Hliang supported the military crackdown of the Saffron Revolution in 2008. He rose to prominence in 2009 after leading an offensive against the insurgent Myanmar Nationalities Democratic Alliance Army in Quoc. In June 2010, Min Aung Hliang replaced General Shui Man as Joint Chief of Staff of the Army, Navy, and Air Force. In the lead-up to 2011, the military began embarking on a series of political reforms to transition Myanmar to a quasi-democracy. The ruling junta, the State Peace and Development Council, engineered its formal departure from power, after holding the 2010 Myanmar general election, which was won by the Union Solidarity and Development Party, USDP, the military's proxy party. On March 30, 2011, outgoing head of state, Senior General Than Shui, then the incumbent Commander-in-Chief of Myanmar's armed forces, appointed Min Aung Hliang as his successor, ahead of more senior officers. Min Aung Hliang's appointment coincided with USDP's rise to power, during which he oversaw a series of military reforms, and supported efforts by the USDP-led government to strike peace deals with ethnic armed groups. In November 2011, according to the Irrawaddy News, it was widely believed that following Min Aung Hliang's meetings with Chinese military officials that month and his leadership in creating a bilateral agreement on defense cooperation with the Chinese, he had also held talks with Chinese Vice President Xi Jinping regarding cooperation from China with respect to the Kachin conflict. On March 27, 2012, during a speech in Naypyidaw, Min Aung Hliang defended the military's continued role in national politics. On April 3, 2012, the government of Myanmar announced that Min Aung Hliang had been promoted to Vice Senior General, the second highest rank in Myanmar's armed forces. He was promoted to Senior General in March 2013. In 2014, as Min Aung Hliang approached the age of 60, which is the mandatory age of retirement for military officers, the Armed Forces Department of Defense Council issued a directive, enabling Min Aung Hliang to extend his mandatory retirement age to 65, in 2021. In August 2015, the USDP fractured, and President Thein Sein purged the faction led by Shui Man, a former general and speaker of the P'Thulata. Min Aung Hliang oversaw a direct military intervention to oust Shui Man from power, indicating the military's desire to continue furthering its agenda through USDP. Shui Man had advocated for legislation and constitutional amendments that would have decreased the military's influence, against the interests of the military and USDP. The 2015 Myanmar general election saw the National League for Democracy, NLD, led by Aung San Suu Kyi, win in a landslide. With the transition from an USDP to NLD-led government, Min Aung Hliang shifted his priorities to recovering state power for the military establishment. His intransigence and refusal to cooperate with the civilian-led government undermined progress toward Myanmar's peace process. As the NLD assumed power, Min Aung Hliang began intensifying an ongoing military crackdown on the Rohingya, beginning in October 2016, 22-23 at the Union Peace Conference, 21st Century Panglong in August 2020, he sharply warned the NLD against scapegoating the military for its role in the ongoing ethnic conflicts. Min Aung Hliang also began to signal his interest in civilian politics. He began assuming a more statesman-like persona, and became increasingly assertive about the military's role. In the lead-up to the 2020 Myanmar general election, he worked with the USDP to position himself as the next president. Throughout 2019, Min Aung Hliang made several public appearances dubbed a charm offensive, at several religious sites and charity functions, raising speculation about his political ambitions. To cultivate his public persona, he began 2 Facebook pages that commanded a combined following of 4.1 million followers. In January 2020, Min Aung Hliang met with Chinese leader Xi Jinping in Nay Pyi Taw. Xi promoted the practical cooperation under the framework of the One Belt One Road to achieve results at an early date and benefit Myanmar's people. In May 2020, Min Aung Hliang reshuffled senior military ranks, promoting a new generation of officers loyal to Min Aung Hliang, including Kyaw Swar Lin, who became the military's youngest lieutenant general. In November 2020, Min Aung Hliang made a series of public comments questioning the legitimacy of the upcoming 2020 election, in potential violation of the Civil Services Personnel Law. On November 5, the Tatmadaw declared that Min Aung Hliang's rank is equivalent to Vice President of Myanmar. After casting his ballot in the 2020 election, Min Aung Hliang vowed to accept the election results. The 2020 election saw NLD win in a larger landslide than in 2015, forestalling Min Aung Hliang's political ambitions. In response, the military began intensifying allegations of electoral fraud and irregularities, submitting formal complaints to the Union Election Commission. On January 27, 2021, Min Aung Hliang publicly remarked that he would not rule out a coup d'état and abolition of the constitution, if allegations of voter fraud during last year's election were not adequately addressed. These comments sparked concern about another potential coup in the country. The following day, the Union Election Commission issued a statement rejecting claims of electoral fraud, citing the lack of evidence submitted to substantiate these claims. On January 29, the military issued clarifying statements pledging to protect and abide by the Constitution and applicable laws. On February 1, Min Aung Hliang led the 2021 Myanmar Coup d'état, one day before democratically elected members of parliament were scheduled to be sworn in as members of the Assembly of the Union. The following day, he established the State Administration Council as the country's interim ruling body. The UNRC reported that Min Aung Hliang's soldiers have been deliberately targeting civilians in northern states of Myanmar and have been committing systemic discrimination and human rights violations against minority communities in Rakhine State. In particular, he has been accused of ethnic cleansing against the Rohingya people. These human rights violations could amount to genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes. In 2018, the United Nations Independent International Fact-Finding Mission on Myanmar, led by Marzuki Darusman, determined that Min Aung Hliang and other Myanmar military generals oversaw atrocities against the Rohingya in Rakhine, Kachin and Shan states, and did so with genocidal intent. The UN investigative panel said that Min Aung Hliang, along with 4 other commanders, So Win, Aung Kya Za, Mong Mong So, and Then Oo, should be tried for war crimes and crimes against humanity, including genocide, in the International Criminal Court or an ad hoc international tribunal. Facebook banned Min Aung Hliang from its platform along with 19 other top Burmese officials and organizations to prevent further heated ethnic and religious tensions in Myanmar. This action followed a UN investigations report that certain military leaders in Myanmar be investigated and prosecuted for genocide over a crackdown on Rohingya Muslims. Twitter later banned him on May 16, 2019. On March 17, 2019, Kya Zaoo, an Arakan's MP, published a bilingual open letter to Min Aung Hliang about many violations of Tatmadaw in Rakhine State, inflicting on lives and property of the civilians, damaging some buildings of cultural heritage as well. The United States has imposed sanctions against Min Aung Hliang. In July 2019, the U.S. government banned him from travel to the United States. In December 2020, it froze Min Aung Hliang's American-based assets and criminalized financial transactions between him and anyone in the United States. Min Aung Hliang has courted enduring controversy for his family's extensive business assets and potential conflicts of interest. He is a major shareholder in the army-owned Myanmar Economic Holdings Limited, MEL. During the 2010-11 fiscal year, he had owned 5,000 shares and received an annual dividend of $250,000. He sits on MEL's patron group, which runs the conglomerate. Min Aung Hliang's son, Aung Hliang, owns a number of companies, including Sky One Construction Company and Aung Myint Mo Min Insurance Company. He also has a majority stake in Mittal, a national telecoms carrier. In 2013, his son Aung Hliang won a no-bid government permit well below market rates, for a 30-year lease on land at the Yangon People's Park for a high-end restaurant and art gallery, following his father's promotion to Commander-in-Chief. Aung Hliang also runs ANM Mahar, which offers Food and Drug Administration, FDA, approvals and customs clearance services for drugs and medical devices. Myanmar's Customs Department is led by Kya Tin, a former MEL director. His daughter Kin Thyri that Monday founded a major film studio, Seventh Sense Creation, in 2017-56 that same year, his daughter-in-law, Myo Yadanar Htaik, founded another entertainment company, Stellar 7 Entertainment. The American Embassy, Yangon came under media scrutiny in December 2020, for collaborating with Seventh Sense Creation, because Min Aung Hliang is technically subject to U.S. economic sanctions.